had his way with me. I don't know, a fifth the size of the female we just had. He was looking for a meal. Welcome to Singapore, where monitors walk by the highway. Evening, everyone. We're back out for our second night of herping in Singapore, and I'm not sure how much sense that's going to make if I'm not able to solve a little problem I had yesterday. The video I made was actually not usable as far as I can tell. I had a problem with the sound, but we had a really exciting night finding shore vipers and a few other things. So if I can fix that sound, you'll have seen that already by the time we get to this clip, and otherwise we are on to night 2. So we're going to do a forest walk tonight. There's a lot of different target species, so I won't ruin the surprise. It's been a bit dry, so who knows how it's going to turn out. But we're meeting up with a few other herpers here in Singapore, so we're optimistic. And we will check back in the first time we find something cool. Alright everyone, we've got our first snake of the evening. And it's one of, if not the most common snake in Singapore, the painted bronzeback. And this is a real tiny guy. You can see here, just a little baby, but pretty cool. We're on the boards. I'm gonna stop and get a few pictures of this one, and then we'll be on our way, see if we can't find something a little bit bigger. Very cool. Okay everyone, it's been a long walk, and so far this is all we've come up with. Another painted bronzeback, which is still okay for me. They're beautiful little snakes. And this one, like the other one, is sleeping, roosting. But we're gonna keep at it, see if we can't come up with something different, maybe a wagglers or something like that. We'll probably find a few more of these before we're done with this stretch. But yeah, slower night than we expected, but still cool. Alright everybody, we have another of our target species here. And I'm not sure if you can see it from here, but take a look through the trees, and that is a chunky female waggler's viper. That is one of the most iconic vipers in the world, also known as temple vipers. And I'm gonna try and make my way over. If you guys can just bear with me, I'll try and get in a good position without stepping on anything. Maybe you can see it a little bit better now. Just there. Get a touch closer. You'll be able to see her from the back here, but then I'm gonna have to move my position. But look at that. Wow. What a cool snake. That's an amazing lifer for me, guys. Let me get repositioned here a little bit, and I will come back in. Alright, here we go. Here is the head-on shot with the wagglers. One of the coolest and prettiest vipers there is. And this is the female. The males are green in color with red and white markings. And the females start off green but then become this beautiful black and yellow and white coloration. And there's still a little bit of green left on this one, so I'm assuming she might be able to grow a little bit more, but big chunky viper. Really, really cool animal. And we're gonna get some stills and take a closer look, and then we'll pop back in and share a little bit more info with you. But amazing, amazing find. Super pumped. All the walking was worth it. Alright, now we have found our third painted bronzeback here, and one of our friends here is looking after it. We've got a little paper wasp flying around us here, but very cool. We're actually going to do some more shooting of the wagglers and get back to that in a minute, but great find. This is a really pretty one, and unfortunately, he had his way with me. So we also have another painted bronzeback up there in the tree. I will see if I can point that out in the video here with a pointer, but there's one up there. We're going to leave it alone. It's quite high up, and we're quite sure it's a painted bronzeback, but pretty productive little area. So I'm going to get back to the wagglers and check back in when we're done. Alright, we've got another painted bronzeback. Very common snake around here, apparently. See the head over here. But we are on to possibly bigger and better things. We're going to go look for a male wagglers now, and then we're going to head out because it's getting late. But we'll check back in if we find the male. Okay everyone, we're in luck. We have a male wagglers viper, and this guy is probably about, I don't know, a fifth the size of the female we just had, which is quite normal in most viper species. There's a lot of sexual dimorphism between males and females, and you can see here there's also a lot of difference in color and pattern. This guy is green with red and white flecks down the body and some red and white striping on the face, and he has the typical red coloration on the tail, which classified usually as a caudal lure, but it's just caudal coloring. I'm not sure if they actually use it as a lure. But this is fantastic. This has been a really, really slow start to the evening, and then we finished really strong. These are lifers for me, obviously, and they're just impressive snakes, regardless of how many times you've seen them, I think. So we're going to get some still shots of this guy. We've actually put the female back. We didn't want to, we took quite a few shots of her, so we didn't want to stress her out anymore and do more video, but I think we got enough there, and I'll post some of those shots as well. But yeah, great night. I think we're going to walk out after this, so we'll pop back on if we find anything else. Otherwise, we'll close on the male wagglers. Alright everyone, we finished up. No more goodies before we head out here, but really cool to close on that pair of wagglers, both male and female. So we'll get those photos up so you guys can get a better look. And we're going to get out again maybe tomorrow during the day, but definitely tomorrow night. So more to come. Alright, we're out at the Botanic Gardens today, just having lunch, and we've got another monitor in public space. He is looking for a meal. Lots of fun seeing these things all out, all over the city, pretty much everywhere you go. Saw a baby on the walk over too, but it popped in a weep hole before I could catch it. Anyways, we're going to be back out again at it tonight, so we'll check back in when we hit our spot. Alright folks, we're out for, I believe it's night 3 here in Singapore, and I mentioned before I may or may not be able to salvage the video from the first night, but regardless, this is where I was, where I found a shore pit viper and a number of water snakes, specifically dog-faced water snakes, and it's a pretty productive area. I've been walking around a little bit already, and it's pretty easy to find some of these aquatic species actually. If you look actually right there up against the mud bank just under the water, there's a dog-faced water snake, and there's quite a few of them all over. So those are not going to be hard to find, but it may get a little bit tricky to find another shore viper. So we're going to walk around for quite a while and see what we can't come up with. I was going to maybe hop to a second location later, but I'm going to need to get some rest depending on how things go here, because it's been a long couple days. So anyway, stick with us. We'll check back in if and when we find something new and cool. not sure if you guys are going to be able to see this, but there's a pretty big dog-faced water snake down there, making his way along looking for dinner. So, pretty cool, but quite common. And there's actually another one swimming just over there. Very well camouflaged, but lots of them and very active. Okay, back to it. Alright, there's another dog-faced water snake down there just where that red leaf is hung up. He's popping out the left-hand side, little black bands, he's moving a little bit. And just above him, there is a big lungfish. So I'll try and stick some pointers in here so you guys can see him. But this is probably the 10th or 12th dog-faced water snake I've seen tonight. They're pretty successful species in this habitat. So, lots of fun. Always good to be able to see snakes, even if they're common like these guys. Tiny baby dog-faced water snake just poking out from under that leaf. Cool stuff. Alright everyone, we haven't had any luck with shore pit vipers here, so I think instead of going to the second spot, we're actually going to call it for the night. Like I said, we've had plenty of the dog-faced water snakes and things like that, which is interesting, but not too difficult to come across. So, you know, I think we've showed you guys a few swimming along in here, and yeah, it's a bit tricky to get them out and show you close because it's so muddy down there, but not a bad spot, really interesting. But we're going to skip the second spot because we want to wake up in the morning and go for a specific species that basically you can start looking for around sunup. So I want to get some rest. It's been a crazy couple days. Wake up fresh and go look for that special species. And then tomorrow night we will go hit the spot I was contemplating hitting this evening. So check back in tomorrow. Stay tuned. More snakes to come. Good morning, everyone. We are back at the jungle spot, and we're targeting a pretty special species this morning. And it's still early enough where it's possible we could find some roosting arboreals, maybe some vipers, things like that. So we're gonna get to it, and I'll check back in if I find anything. Alright everyone, we've not had too much success this morning, but our target species, which I'll tell you now was the blue coral snake, is pretty hard to come by. It's dry. I've heard they tend to like wet mornings a little bit better. So we're taking the long way out of the trail that we've come down, and the habitat here is fine for them as well, so who knows what'll happen before we're out, but may come up dry this morning, and then we're going to have one more run tonight before we have to head back to Hong Kong. So it's been a great trip so far. Last night a little bit slower, but still cool with all the dog-faced water snakes. And tonight we're going to go to a new spot where there's a few new target species, one of which I've been looking for quite some time, is a 8-line kukri snake. So let's see if we can't nail one more target before the end of the trip, and we'll get at it tonight. All right, folks. Time for our final night of herping in Singapore, and we've opened with a bang with a giant Ayatollah persina, otherwise known as a whip snake, an Oriental whip snake, a vine snake, many common names. But it's up there in a tree. I think we'll probably be in a position to maybe get it a little bit lower and have a better look at it. But while it's occupied there, we're going to take a quick scan of the surrounding area, see if there's anything else. We got a great rain going on tonight. Everything is very damp. So conditions are good for a lot of fossorial snakes as well. So anyways, stick with us. We'll get this one down and look around and see if we can't find some other stuff. All right, everyone. There we have a massive Ayatollah persina, the Oriental whip snake. I can't even get him in frame without backing out. Look at him going for that tree. Really cool snake. Let me try and make sure we have a few more minutes with him here. All right, here we go. But yeah, look at this. Beautiful specimen. Their heads are just otherworldly cool. They're actually quite docile. You can see here I'm able to manipulate the head a little bit without too much concern. But I'd say this one is pushing 2 meters from tip to tail. It's a really, really good size, and you can see also just how long and thin their tail is going all the way down here. And this one has a beautiful yellow lateral stripe there. It's a bit tough to see. These guys are always difficult to get the lighting right with because their bodies are so reflective, but they're also so big that I need to have enough light to cover the whole body. So really, really cool snakes, completely arboreal. They'll eat lizards. I think maybe one like this could probably eat small birds, but quite common. This is a full-grown specimen and quite fantastic. I was a little bit surprised we hadn't found one earlier in the trip, so I'm excited on the last night we get one. What a great snake. All right, we're gonna get some stills and then let him go and move on and see if we can't find some of these cool fossorials that are supposed to be around here. One last long look at the stretch. All right. All right, there goes our whip snake up into the canopy. Cool start. Got to get back at it and find some of these others. All right, folks. Despite the great conditions, we ended up only finding the whip snake, but that was pretty cool. It was a big one, and it was a common species here that I kind of wanted to find, so pretty happy with it. And that's going to close us off for our Singapore session. I realized I have a lot of the video from the first night that I thought I lost, but I don't have the audio. So I'm going to try to maybe include it with some voiceover for some of the hot moments where I found the shore viper and things like that. But anyways, hope you enjoyed this travel vlog, and we're going to come back at you again next week, most likely from Hong Kong. See you then.